The deeper challenge is emotional. Each item tells a story. Your children's handmade cards, your late spouse's favorite sweater, souvenirs from trips you can no longer take. According to research from the University of Kansas, we form stronger emotional attachments to possessions as we age, making letting go genuinely painful. Then there's the just-in-case mentality many of us developed growing up in less abundant times. Those extra buttons, old newspapers, and spare parts represent security. I witnessed this with my friend Eleanor, who kept 15 vases despite living in a small apartment. When we explored why, she realized only 2 held meaningful memories. The rest were just maybes taking up precious space. What items are hardest for you to part with? The sentimental ones or the just-in-case items? SPARK stands for simple, purposeful, actionable, realistic, and kind. Simple means we break everything down into manageable steps. No overwhelming projects. Purposeful reminds us to keep only what serves our current life, not our past or imagined future. Actionable ensures every step can be completed even with limited mobility or energy. Realistic acknowledges our physical limitations and emotional attachments without judgment. And kind, perhaps most importantly, means we treat ourselves with compassion throughout this process. Look at Martha's transformation using Spark. Shows before photo of cluttered living room. This was her space 6 months ago, filled with 40 years of memories but barely livable. And here it is now. Shows after photo, spacious, functional, yet still personal. Martha kept what truly mattered while creating room to actually live. The beauty of Spark is that it honors where we are in life, while helping us move forward with dignity. Instead, choose one small area that either bothers you most or that you use daily. Your medicine cabinet, perhaps, a kitchen drawer that won't close properly, or maybe that nightstand drowning in books and papers. Let me show you what happened when Tom, a 78-year-old viewer, started with just his dining table. After years as a catch-all surface, he could no longer eat there. By focusing solely on this space for just 20 minutes, he transformed it back to its intended purpose. If mobility is a challenge, bring a comfortable chair to your chosen area. Work in 15-minute intervals with rest periods. Remember, this isn't a race. For larger spaces like closets, divide them into sections. Tackle shoes one day, shirts another. Which small space will you start with? That first victory will fuel your motivation for everything that follows. Set up 4 containers. Keep, donate, sell, discard, and consider later. These don't need to be actual boxes. Bags or designated areas work just fine. Now pick up each item individually and ask yourself 3 revealing questions. Have I used this in the past year? Does it serve my current life? And my favorite, would I buy this again today? Watch how Doris approached her overflowing linen closet. With 6 sets of sheets for a 1-bedroom apartment, she realized 4 sets hadn't been used in years. The donate box filled quickly while her keep pile contained only what she genuinely needed and loved. Be especially mindful with items in the consider later box. This shouldn't become another storage space. Schedule a specific date to revisit these items, ideally within 2 weeks. What questions help you make clear decisions about your belongings? For clothing, consider what you actually wear. Most seniors I work with find they wear just 20% of their wardrobe, 80% of the time. Perhaps 68 tops, 4 to 5 bottoms, and 3 pairs of shoes per season is your sweet spot. In the kitchen, how many mugs do you truly need? Even when entertaining, most households rarely use more than 8 to 10. Yet I found 26 mugs in my own cupboards last year. Look at Robert's transformation. By setting a threshold of 30 beloved books instead of hundreds he never reopened, he created a display that brings him daily joy rather than overwhelming shelves. Your threshold depends on your living space and lifestyle. Someone in a studio apartment needs different limits than someone in a 3-bedroom home. I discovered my own threshold for decorative items was much lower than I thought. What category of items might you have exceeded your reasonable threshold for? The key insight I've discovered is this: the memory lives in you, not in the object. We can honor our past without drowning in it. Consider the representative keepsake approach. When Grace downsized, she had 40 years of children's artwork. Instead of keeping every piece, she selected one drawing from each child per year, photographed the rest, and created a beautiful digital album her family now enjoys together. For inherited items, ask yourself, am I keeping this out of love or obligation? William kept his mother's entire china collection in boxes for 15 years until he realized keeping just the teapot she used daily better honored her memory than storing dusty dishes. Try creating memory boxes with clear limits, one shoebox per decade or per family member, forcing thoughtful curation rather than preservation of everything. What sentimental items have been hardest for you to part with? Is it clothing, photographs, inherited items, or something else entirely? Create 3 distinct zones in your home. Zone 1 is for daily essentials. These belong at eye level or in easily accessible drawers. Your medications, favorite coffee mug, and reading glasses deserve prime real estate. Zone 2 houses weekly use items. Perhaps your baking supplies or specific seasonal clothing, stored within reasonable reach, but not occupying your most accessible spaces. Zone 3 contains seasonal or rarely used items that can be stored in higher cabinets, under beds, or in less accessible areas. Look at how Harriet transformed her medicine cabinet by placing daily medications on the middle shelf in clear containers with large print labels, weekly supplements on the top shelf, and rarely used first aid supplies below. She eliminated daily frustration. Clear containers work wonders for visibility, while color-coding systems help when memory occasionally falters. Margaret uses blue bins for winter items and yellow for summer. Simple but effective. Which area in your home would benefit most from this zone organization approach? The concept is refreshingly simple. For every new item that enters your home, one similar item must leave. New blouse? Time to donate one you already own. New book? Another goes to the library donation bin. This approach is particularly valuable for seniors, because we often continue acquiring while our needs actually diminish. It creates a natural pause before purchases. Do I love this enough to let something else go? Consider James, who struggled with magazine accumulation. By implementing this rule and allowing himself just one magazine rack, shows after photo, his reading material stays current and manageable. Small daily maintenance beats massive decluttering sessions every time. Spend just 5 minutes each evening returning items to their homes, a practice that prevents buildup and preserves mobility pathways. For unwanted gifts, remember, you can appreciate the giver's intention without keeping the item. What's one area where you could implement the one in, one out rule immediately? Remember the steps we explored today: starting small, using the 4-box method, establishing thresholds, handling sentimental items, and organizing by functional zones, are designed to empower you. Each small victory builds momentum, so celebrate your progress, no matter how minor it may seem. I encourage you to be patient and kind to yourself throughout this process. Decluttering isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about creating a space that truly reflects who you are today. Now I want to hear from you. What have you found most challenging about decluttering? Which step are you excited to try first? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to come back for our next video, where we'll dive deeper into specific spaces in your home. Thank you for joining me today. Together, we can create brighter days ahead. I invite you to join the conversation in the comments section. What specific areas in your home are you looking to declutter next? Sharing your goals not only holds you accountable, but also inspires others who might be facing similar challenges. Let's support each other by sharing tips and encouragement. If you have a story of success or a question about the decluttering process, please don't hesitate to speak up. Your voice matters here. Also, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Bright Days for more content dedicated to simplifying your life as a senior. Together, we can navigate the clutter and make our homes a place of peace and joy. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I can't wait to see your comments and connect with you in our next video. You've taken the first steps towards transforming your home into a sanctuary that reflects your current needs and desires. Each action you take, no matter how small, contributes to a more peaceful environment. Looking ahead, I encourage you to keep applying the Spark principles in your daily life. As you tackle new areas in your home, remember to be gentle with yourself. It's okay to take breaks and reflect on your progress. In our upcoming videos, we'll dive into specific rooms, like kitchens and bedrooms, and explore tailored strategies to declutter and organize those spaces effectively. I'm excited to share more tips and connect with you on this journey. Thank you once again for being here with me today. Together, we can embrace brighter days ahead, one decluttered space at a time. After joining our community, she decided to tackle her garage step by step, starting with just one corner. Utilizing the 4-box method, she discovered hidden treasures and memories worth keeping while also letting go of things that no longer served her. Linda set her threshold for tools and equipment, realizing she only needed a few essentials for her gardening hobby. She also honored her past by keeping a few cherished items, but documented the stories behind them in a scrapbook. Now her garage is a functional space where she can store her gardening tools and enjoy her favorite activities. Linda says she feels lighter and more at peace in her home. What a beautiful reminder that transformation is possible. Have you had a similar experience? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Another frequent concern: I'm afraid I'll regret letting something go. This is completely natural. Consider creating a maybe box with items you're unsure about. Seal it, date it, and revisit after 3 months. If you haven't needed or thought about those items, it may be easier to release them. Many also ask, how do I handle decluttering when I have physical limitations? Adapt the process to your needs. Use grabber tools, work seated, or ask for specific help with heavy lifting while maintaining decision-making control. Lastly, how do I handle decluttering items from deceased loved ones? Give yourself permission to keep truly meaningful items while letting go of the rest. Often, selecting 1 or 2 representative items preserves the memory while freeing your space. What other questions do you have about your decluttering journey? I'd be happy to address them in future videos. If you find certain items particularly difficult to part with, take a moment to reflect on why they hold significance for you. It's okay to take your time with sentimental items. You might even choose to set them aside for a later date when you feel more ready to make decisions. Remember, decluttering is not just about clearing space. It's about creating an environment that supports your current life. Celebrate small wins along the way. Each drawer you organize, every shelf you clear, and every item you release is a step toward a more peaceful home. I encourage you to journal your thoughts and feelings throughout this process. Documenting your journey can reveal patterns and insights as you navigate your relationship with your possessions. What small victory have you celebrated recently in your decluttering journey? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories.